Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mongai and I'm back at it again with another video. So, I know you guys are probably wondering when am I going to do my next interview? Well, I'm here to tell you that I have the opportunity to interview Dr. Arikana, the former African Union ambassador to the US. So, stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well. How about you?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you for making time for me to interview you.
No problem. Thank you for all the good work that you're doing.
Thank you. Okay, so can I go ahead and start asking you my questions?
Absolutely. Where's your mother?
She's working.
Oh, she's not there listening and giving you the encouragement. Let me see. Is the color good?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, good. All right.
All right. So your career has seen many impressive milestones, including serving as the African Union ambassador to the US. What are the career accomplishments you are most proud of?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I think the career that I enjoyed the most was being a medical doctor. Having the ability to make a difference in the lives of many is something that I enjoy and I continue to enjoy to this day. I spent 25 years of my life as a medical doctor, as a practicing clinician. And then, of course, I got called to come to Washington, D.C. To represent the continent and the 250 million in the Americas, Black people in the Americas. I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing in Washington, D.C., being that I was transitioning from being a medical doctor to the diplomatic world, which I really was not familiar with. I knew of diplomacy, but I didn't quite understand the depth of it, but more importantly, what difference I, on a personal level, could make, being that I had not been in the diplomatic world in any way, shape, or form. When I left Tennessee, I thought I was leaving my stethoscope and my prescription pad behind. But what I didn't realize was that once a doctor, always a doctor. And I took with me my medical mind. I began to scan my environment, and without realizing it, I began to find all kinds of diagnoses. and in a nutshell, I then concluded that as a Black race, I think I call it, soldiers when they come back from the army, some suffer from what we call post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. I concluded that as Black people, we are suffering from CTSD, which is continuous traumatic stress disorder. Because what we have been subjected to and what we continue to be subjected to as a race is quite traumatic to a point where most of us don't even know what our norm is, because we have to continuously adjust and readjust, strategize and re-strategize just to make it through the day, just to make it, to get that contract, to get that job. We are not operating from an equal playing field. And it takes a toll on a race. And so I found myself almost coming up with solutions and healing from a different point of view, where we begin to have conversations that will allow us to go deep into our subconscious and bring out those issues that ail us, that we have managed to suppress and bury deep into our subconscious, but nonetheless issues that we must bring to the surface, issues that we must discuss, issues that will bring the much needed healing that will assist us in addressing the legacy of colonization and the legacy of slavery, which are very much a part of who we are as Black people in our daily lives. So I'm still providing healing, but at a different level. And that is very satisfying.
Okay, thank you. My next question is, what causes you sleepless nights when you think about Africa?
What gives me sleepless nights is the continued exploitation and abuse of Africans and Black people around the globe as a race. That gives me sleepless nights. I worry about our children like you to say, are we really going to leave this world the way it is for them? You young people don't understand how we got here. We, your elders, we have a responsibility to make this world a better place for you. That truly, truly keeps me awake at night. To say, is this really the world that we are going to leave our children? I would hope that all of us as elders, we can go that extra mile and prepare to create a better world for our children. I would hope that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you will be able to say, Ambassador, there were problems in our Africa 20 years ago. What did you do? You'll be able to look at your mother and say, Mother, your own children should be able to look at your mother and say, Grandmother, there were problems with the Black race. There were problems in Africa. What did you do? And grandmother should be able to say, granddaughter, this is what I did. This is where we left. And this is where we want to pick up. So our status as Black people and the fact that I will be leaving this world the way it is for our children does keep me up at night.
Okay. So July 18th is Mandela Day, a global call to action that celebrates the idea that each individual has the power to transform the world, the ability to make an impact. What message do you have for the African children on this day?
To the African children, I say, let's live a life that is exemplary of Nelson Mandela. Let's live a life that celebrates Nelson Mandela's legacy. It's sad that we're having this conversation a couple of days after his daughter's death. To her and the family, we send our condolences. Mandela signified peace. Mandela signified resilience. Mandela signifies the spirit that we hope we can see in each and every one of us. The spirit that says, no matter how long it takes, sometimes some things are more important than fear. That is what Mandela left us with, his courage. Courage to speak out, courage to call out when one sees the wrong fearlessly, courage to stand out and defend your turf. Mandela showed us the way. And the same courage that Mandela exemplified, we need to also cultivate it among as many of us as possible. But more importantly, let's also cultivate it, harvest it, plant it in our youth, just like you. We want to cultivate that courage in you, our children, because you're the ones who are going to carry the torch forward. And we have a responsibility to empower you with all the tools that you need to continue the struggle.
Okay. Africa has had its ups and downs from colonization to independence and beyond. As the older generation gets ready to pass on the torch to the next generation, the question I have is, do you think the outgoing generation has created a foundation upon with the next generation that the next generation can build?
The answer is emphatically no. That is why we are going full force as African diaspora to try and unite so we can turn a new leaf when it comes to our unity and our abilities to address these issues. We are not ready. I am sorry to say, my dear daughter, we have a long way to go. And let me be the first one to apologize to you, our youth, that we could have done better. We must do better as your elders. But I do know one thing, that with your intelligence, with your energy and our wisdom, a little bit of it, not much, we can build a better Africa. We can build a better world for us as a race. So to underscore it, the answer is no, but I do know and hope that united we can.
Right, okay. Without a vision, people perish. This is evidenced by the number of people Africa is losing as they flee their countries for greener pastures. What is the long-term vision for Africa? Can Africa's 54 leaders collectively say they have guaranteed a future for Africans for the next 3 decades and beyond?
Well, first of all, it's sad that our children should perish in the Mediterranean Sea in search of greener pastures, when actually the greener pastures are in Africa. So we must get our children to understand that the greener pastures, the Garden of Eden, is in Africa. It's just that we have been meant to believe that everything African was bad and everything European was better and more desirable. Sadly, that was by design, to paint an Africa that would make sure that the children of Africa on the continent and those abroad can never unite and come together to build the Africa that we want. What's needed is a different type of PR, a PR that's going to reach out to our children just like you, to let you know that you are an inheritor of one of the most amazing continents on earth. That Africa, in spite of the many years, centuries of exploitation, the colonizers have only taken maybe 10% of Africa's wealth. And that wealth, my daughter, it belongs to you. And that you need to go after it. It is your inheritance. We, as your elders, as your mothers, as your fathers, we have a responsibility to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth about your country, your continent of origin, that you have a part to play, that continent is going to be as good as you make it, that you have a role to play. Don't wait for others to build it for you, because if they build it for you, then they own it. And so Africa is one of the most amazing, amazing continent. There's so much going on. Young people and their inventions, they're inventing electric cars, mobile apps. But we have a continent that is really, really on the go. In 2019, 2018, 6 of the fastest growing economies in the world were out of Africa. We're a continent with over 65% of the arable land. Almost the bulk of the platinum coming out of Africa, of the world, produced in the world is out of Africa. 50% of the gold produced in the world is coming out of Africa. The second largest producer of diamonds, the largest by far producer of coltan. And so it's a continent that has a lot going on. So for our children to perish in the Mediterranean in search of greener pastures, they are actually running away from the greener pastures. So this is a message that we as parents must pass on to our children, to say the future, not only of children of Africa in the diaspora, but the future of the world is in Africa. We can take all of the United States, the people, and put them on the continent, including the landmass. We can take all of China, we can take all of Europe. They all fit in Africa. Africa is supremely qualified to feed and house the world. Young people don't understand that. You don't run away from such an amazing continent. They're running away in search of greener pastures when they're actually leaving the greener pastures behind them. What our children need is knowledge and understanding of our Africa. And you, my daughter, speaking to it and giving me a platform to talk to you. I hope that we can reach more young people like you who can begin to take another look at Africa and begin to understand our Africa the way that we would like to see you appreciate and understand your Africa, knowing very well that when it's all said and done, Africa is home. If you are a Black person, no matter where you were born, Africa is home.
Right. Yes. The Swahili word Harambe means let's pull together. The Africa for the next 3 decades is something I would love to see all Africans collectively begin to think, plan, and act upon. How can we, the youth, become a part of this process?
Again, it goes back to the comments I just made from your last question. For you to act on it, you have to first of all understand. Too many of you young people don't understand Africa, and hence you're too busy running away from it. I was talking to a group of young people, and we were talking about doing your DNA testing and finding out where you come from in Africa. And one young woman said, well, I don't want to do my DNA testing because if President Trump finds out that I'm from an African country, he might send me back to Africa. You know, she did not want to go to Africa. Another one said, well, I might find out that I'm from Togo. I don't want to come back. I don't want to be from Togo. You know, so it's just a lot of ignorance that our young people have. So we have a responsibility. I do know that we have hope in our young people because you get it. You don't have those roadblocks that we have. You are open-minded. If we just deliver the truth to you, you will decipher it, you will analyze it, and you'll make the right decisions very quickly. So we owe you knowledge. We owe you your history. We owe you your understanding of your Black people, your race, your Blackness. How did you get here? Why do you think the way you do? Why do you behave the way you do? Let's answer those questions. Let's lighten the load for you. Let's arm you with knowledge and understanding. Once we do that, you will take off like a rocket.
Right. Okay. What would you like your legacy to be, or how do you want it to be remembered?
I just want to be remembered as somebody who continued to call upon all people of African descent to unite, because it is only through our unity that we have our strength. It is only through our unity that we can stand our ground and defend ourselves against the continuous, perpetual abuse and disrespect of Black people in general around the world. So I would hope that I would be remembered as a mother and a grandmother who called upon her children to unite, because that is the only way that we can regain our economic and as well as political liberation, which is what we need in order for not only Africa, the continent, but for the Black race to take our place on the world stage.
All right. Thank you so much. That's all the questions that I had for you today. Thank you for making time for me.
Oh, no problem. You are our children. We owe it to you. If we do not give you the time, then who's going to give you the time? We have a responsibility to you. So don't you ever hesitate calling upon all of us. I want you to know as your elders, and I know I'm speaking on behalf of many other mothers and grandmothers out there, we owe you. Yes, I owe you. I actually want to thank you for doing what you're doing. I think it's quite impressive that for you to be at this young age, you are doing the work that you're doing. How old are you now, dear?
17.
17, look at that, look at that. We are so proud of you. We are so, so proud of you. Keep up the good work. And in your case, don't you ever hesitate calling on me. Don't you ever hesitate calling on any of us elders. We owe it to you. Your mothers, we are your grandmothers, and we are here for you. Keep up the good work. We love you very much.
Love you too.
All right, sweetheart, take care.
All right, have a good day.
You too, dear.
I hope you all enjoyed this interview. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Mongai Fankam, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Happy Nelson Mandela Day. Bye.